Okay, this video is really intended for the professionals to analyze and evaluate and hopefully show the younger guys and maybe talk about it. Now, I've been in business a long time. 52 years I've been climbing and working trees. I'm still climbing. And I like to show stuff to other climbers and prospective climbers, young guys, ground workers, and talk about it. So in this video, I'm actually going to be doing some stop motion. I'm going to explain some stuff. I'm going to show some markers on the video to explain what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. And bear in mind, I may not be right. You know, I want you guys to comment on this and tell me what you would do and what you think of the video. But in any case, I think it's well worth watching. I think you're going to enjoy this. There's some good action in here. Okay, let's get right into it. This is a bucket job, and right off the bat, I want to show you something here. I'm pointing out the crack. There's the bottom, there's the top. And I want to talk about why I'm making the wedge the way I am. So it's a small wedge. I'm going to be dropping this on the road. And I want you to take note that I did not make the wedge all the way up to the crack. And bear in mind, the crack goes all the way through. If I had gone all the way to the crack, what would have happened? Well, it could have possibly pinched my bar. So I made the cut from the back and it all went pretty well. I put a bunch of brush down there and a bunch of logs to keep from damaging this newly surfaced road in the community up where I live. So I'm showing you these videos here. This is actually from the 360 camera, which enables me to show the same footage from different perspectives. So here's where this branch is cracked. I'm going to show it to you again. This is actually the exact same footage. I just edited it differently. The 360 camera allows me to take footage all the way around. That's how tall this top is. It's way up there. And bear in mind, this is a wide angle lens, so it's a lot bigger than what it looks like in this video. So getting back to how I made this cut, I want you to look very, very closely and remember there's a crack in there. I made a bottom cut and a top cut. This is the wedge cut. Didn't go too deep because I was afraid that it would pinch the saw. It would have gone down to it. Now, I want to show you this in a couple of different steps. I'm going to stop the motion here in a second, slow it way down. There it goes. It all went fine. But here we go. I'm slowing it way, way down. And if you look really closely, let's do that again. If you look really closely, there. Where did it break? At the edge of my crack, or my wedge, or where the crack was? It broke at the crack. So I'm lucky I didn't get into a serious problem there. It could have, a lot of things could have happened. Tell me in the comments what you think about this cut. I could see the crack ahead of time. That's why I stopped with my wedge where I did. The top had a bit of a lean to it, but I had to direct it down towards the road to keep it from tearing out all the other trees around me. So it was a tricky cut, and I'm up in the air. I'm in the bucket, which means I can't run away from it. There we go with that 360 camera. And I wanted to show you the road. I did not damage the road. Here's the base of the tree. And all went well with dropping that top. We got it all cleaned up because there's a lot of traffic in there. I'm going to drop this piece down across the road. I left it about 35 feet tall. Now I could have chunked it down, but because I'm on a hillside, every piece would have hit the ground and rolled down the hill. I could have roped it down. That would have taken me a while, but I'm taking a bit of a gamble here. And I want you to comment on this as well. So I looked all the way around. I could see there's a little bit of drying out on both sides of this trunk. I am guessing that the trunk is reasonably solid. And what I'm going to do here, tell me what you think, but I decided not to cut a directional wedge on this. I decided to cut just from the back and let the wood break over. Now, a lot of trees like pines and firs and even a lot of oaks, you can get away with this. You can cut it from the one side and it gets close to the edge and the wood just kind of bends and breaks and bends and breaks. And the theory here for me is that it will keep this piece of wood at the top of the side of the road. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bridge the road. There, I'll let you just watch this. I set my phone right near the base of this tree and I wanted to catch what happens. So watch this really closely and watch what happens to my phone. Now, my phone was okay, thankfully, but it did a bit of a barber chair on that piece. And that's not what I expected, so I'm saying that was a mistake. So let's look at this from a little different perspective. I took my 360 camera and I set it down next to a tree across the road. And I want to explain to you why I didn't cut a wedge cut in there. I was afraid that if I cut a wedge cut and it came down, it would bounce up in the air and slam down on the road because I really wanted to contain it. I was hoping that some of the wood in the trunk would stay with that when it fell over and keep it intact. On the positive side, it did work out okay. It did bridge the road just fine, and you'll see in this little bit of video that it worked out without any mishaps. But because this is a brand new resurfaced road, I was a bit concerned about what I was going to do to it, possibly damage the road, and this association would have got on my case about it, and this homeowner didn't want to damage it either. So just watch. Note that I have Jorge at the bottom and the homeowners at the top to stop any traffic that came through. Now, it completely bridged the road and didn't even impact the pavement at all. Here I'm cutting up the log afterwards, and what I did is I cut about 3/4 of the way through all the way down, and then we rolled it over and finished cutting on the backside. There's a little bit of a trick to speed things up. If you cut one piece at a time, you end up risking pinching the bar. And this is just a really fast way to do it. You got to be real careful not to hit the ground with the tip of your bar. And then you can see here where I had all the cuts I had to make, finished it off, and we just had firewood to move up the hill. So now we're on to a little bit of a different area. This job, I actually worked on about 7 or 8 different trees on this whole job. Jorge's up here and I'm working the ropes, and we've got another dead tree that we've got to bring down. Well, not completely dead, the top was dead. These madrones are susceptible to a disease called Botrytis, and it is wreaking havoc up here. So lots and lots of dead trees to deal with. So I'm on the rope here, and Jorge is making some pretty decent sized cuts. Now, when you're roping down entirely dead pieces, expect it to shatter and expect it to go all over the place. My truck! Part two. This is good. I know. You gonna take that at the same time? No. Okay. Go ahead. My glove is smoking. And at the end of the job, this is what we took out of that particular tree. And as you can see, the road is in good shape. We didn't do any damage. Sigh of relief there. So I saved on a piece of wood. I'm going to mill it up. And I hope you guys have a chance to share this with other younger employees or prospective climbers.